Here with Rory McIlroy, another question, well, sort of a question. We actually found this on X. Sauce Gardner, the football player. Listen to this one. He says, I'm on YouTube and Rory McIlroy talked about how and why he uses a shorter driver. I think since I have long arms, I'd be able to control a shorter driver more. Thoughts? And he addressed that to the public at large, but actually, seeing as we've got the man himself here.
There we go.
And you've actually looked at his swing.
Yeah.
Fairly new to golf. Obviously obsessed with the game, like the rest of us. There's no help for your sources. No, it's too late. It's too late. What would you suggest based on what you saw with his swing, Rory?
Yeah, I mean, so I actually think he's got a pretty decent swing for someone that's only taken up the game a little while ago. I think, you know, he's a taller guy. The reason that I went to a shorter driver is because I'm a shorter guy. And since then, actually, I've went back to a regular length driver. And I don't feel like I've lost any accuracy because of it. So I would say he probably doesn't need to go to a shorter driver. He's got a decent swing. There's a couple little things he could work on in his swing. I think he gets the club inside pretty early, which then makes a couple of things later on a little more difficult for him. So if anything, I'd just get him to work on his takeaway a little bit and try to get that club back more sort of on his toe line halfway back. He sort of gets it quite inside early. So if he can get it from there, I just think that'll make it much easier for him to control his driver.
I've had the good fortune to spend plenty of time with you, and you've told me on many occasions you feel that once you get it going away correctly, you've got a really good chance of hitting good shot. It's something that you and Michael Bannon have worked on for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I don't mind if the club goes a little bit out. I think that for me and my pattern that works okay. But once I start getting the club inside early, you know, a lot of problems can happen from there. I think you start to get the two-way miss going, and it's all then about timing. And I'd rather rely on good mechanics than timing.
So let's see you hit one here. I then have another question about equipment that might be helpful for Sauce.
Yeah, so for Sauce, I would say even before he takes the club back, just having like a little rehearsal, just to get it more there.
And when you do that, you're looking for the hands and the club to sort of seem over the toe line from your perspective.
Yeah. And like over the toe line, down the target line, and then from there he can, you know, if he gets like a good feel from there, then I think it'll just make everything a lot easier. Yeah, well, that's just an absolute corker, no doubt about that. One question for Sauce that, you know, I would think of as a teacher, but so interested in your perspective on it. What loft do you use on your driver? So this is it's somewhere between 8.5 and 9 degrees.
And you're one of the very, very best who's ever driven the ball, so you can handle that. For someone who's just getting into golf, do you think maybe it'd be better with a little bit more loft on the driver?
Absolutely. I think that'll help control. It'll put a little bit more spin on the ball too. Yeah, I'd say for a person that's just gotten into the game, you know, at least 10.5 degrees, I think is a good place to start with the loft on your driver.
So there you have, dare I say it, the secret sauce. I couldn't help it. I just had to say it. I just had to say it. Look, so if you get the club going back along your toe line, Sauce, and you get a bit more loft on your driver, you will find a lot more fairways. Keep it going. So glad you're involved in the game.